Good day and welcome back to another week of Talking Technical. And I live in a world where everything just goes up. And I think you also live in a world that you must just buy and hold on, and everything just goes up. I mean, look at Palantir. Can you believe it? This company, 7th of April, it was around $68. That was with the tariff shock of Mr. Trump. And now it's floating around 131. Just a beautiful 100% gain in the stock price since April. Well, it tells you just one thing. What you must do is you must buy shares. You must just hold on to them, and then you are all the way on your way to become rich. Stinking rich, by the way. And that is not true, because I've seen over years that some shares can really disappoint and you can really burn your fingers. So be careful just to believe that shares can always go up and nothing can take them down. And that's why I want to look at Palantir, and everybody is just saying, just have a look, beautiful low, higher low, another higher low, and we're on the brink for another higher high. And that is just after a beautiful 100% gain in 6 weeks. So for those that want to change momentum, I am not a momentum chaser. Yes, I haven't participated in a lot of stocks over years because I do not chase momentum. And call me stupid for that. That's okay, but I can still buy a breakfast and I can still eat and I can pay my bills with my simple method of looking at opportunities when they're right, rock bottom, and then get involved. But momentum for me is not this game. So if you look at Palantir, you want to buy the momentum. And by the way, who asked about it? Oh, it was Leon. Sorry, Leon. Above 133. 49, $133.49. This Palantir can just give you a beautiful higher high. And I mean, where can it go to? I see all the analysts, they use nowadays these kind of tricks. They say, well, if you want the upside target, that is so easy. You just draw the line in and it will probably end up in a few days at $150. Just be a little bit careful. And I've seen it over the years. And remember, this old chap, he's behind the screens for a long, long time. In actual fact, I worked out the other day, I started getting involved in charts and stock exchanges in 1977, long way before there was computer programs. I can remember that very first one, Indexia. I think you can still remember that. Well, we bought it many, many, many moons ago, and that was a new world opening to us, because in the beginning, in those early days, we used normal graph paper and we draw it with a piece of pencil, and then eventually you will see the pattern. Let's have a look at blue. Skuman asked about blue, and remember, always you can send in your requests either to YouTube, to the video that we post every week, or you can always go to Twitter, or as they call it nowadays, X. My Twitter handle or X handle is Trader France. You just post your request there, and we really hope to see if we can maybe cover that. Well, let's have a look at blue. Well, Skuman, I'm sure you're into the stock. I really hope so, because what a phenomenal run from 687 in April. By the way, I've read this week that the JSE had, I think, a 14% jump in just a few weeks. So it's unbelievable. But I mean, that is from that very low level. But from 687 to almost 12 Rand in one go. Look at the 50-day moving average. It has rallied way past that. And where will be my first sign of weakness? And I'm going to use this little hammer candle that we've seen here last week. And now we're starting to see like a gravestone candle, Skuman. And for me, the first sign of weakness will be below 1175. But I mean, there's a little gap. Maybe we need to wait for this gap to close. Then we can say there's a first sign of weakness. And that gap is sitting between 1147 and it closes at 1144. Yes, it's only 3 cents, but it's still a gap. But there's another gap. This gap is sitting at 9 Rand and 30 cents. And yes, it can close at 890. And whoo, there right down at the bottom, I'm not going to give you the level, is around 790 now. Can you believe it that this stock was in April then only there? So be nervous. First sign of weakness will be below 1175. So if you use a trend line to get your weakness, I sometimes use horizontal lines if you look at the candles, because they predict and they show you the momentum and they show you the emotion of the share so well, the first sign of weakness will probably be below this window. And this window will be closed below 11 Rand and 5 cents. And for you, Skuman, if you want to buy it, I think you just buy pure momentum. Use this as your stop loss at 11 Rand 44. Chase it right to the heaven if you can, but just be a little bit nervous. Strong lamp formation, warning candle, maybe a gravestone candle, and it can maybe bring the stock all the way down. Let's have a look at We Buy Cars. And Eugene, you are also a clever guy. I see you like the stock. Let's have a look at it. Eugene, same story, beautiful rally. Can you believe it? From 32 Rand 36 a month ago all the way to the top. Beautiful rising wedge. Let's draw it in for those that learn with me on the program. There you are. And remember, I also still learn. A lot of people always think that France knows everything. No, that is not the case. In actual fact, France is very often very wrong. And that's why we always learn, and that's why we like this beautiful, you can almost say hobby. It is fantastic. Now, if you look at We Buy Cars, where will be the first sign of weakness? Below 46.83. That's a rising wedge. The resistance is quite steep up. The support is quite steep up. So below that, think about it, lock it in some profits. But the first warning will only be below this 50-day moving average, 43 Rand and 16 cents. And by the way, if you want to short it, I will use a stop loss of 49 Rand and 35 cents as a stop loss, because I think this chap will probably come down, work it a little bit, and then come back. So don't be 100% sure that it will come in one certain line. That's often a mistake that traders do. They believe that the stock, when it turns around, it will just fall on a heap like it did here. That's not the case. Sometimes it's a slow but sure grind to the downside from there. And then only right at the end of the stage, you get the waterfall formation. So never be convinced that a share will just go up in one way immediately. And another thing that a lot of people sometimes make a mistake, they believe that the share must do something. In stock analysis, there's not the word must. It can sometimes change your mind around. Let's have a look at Tabu's request. Tabu say, listen, Frans, I'm reading about all this copper buys, and I'm keen. I want to buy copper 360. Now, Tabu, if I look at this chart, my friendo, until I must be honest with you, the momentum is still clearly to the downside. Let's just draw this line in. There was like a shootout, but if you look at this candle, there you are all the way. And what worries me a little bit is look at these shadows. These shadows always protected the candle. It always bounced up, always protected the share around this level of 175, 170. And now we're starting to move close to this 170. Let's look at these lower shadows, if it can still support the share price, if it can still bounce. But the first proper clue will be above this 50-day moving average. And of course, there's your falling wedge above 1 Rand 95. It can maybe bounce to the top. It can maybe go all the way to 231. That's not a bad scenario. But where's my stop loss? If you buy above 195, my stop loss will be, and it's a little bit of a big stop loss, 165. But just be a little bit nervous. I think this 50-day moving average 192 will be such a tight stop loss that you cannot work on it. But my friend Otabo, early days, and I must be honest with you, if people start to buy copper as a theme, they will always buy the big boys first. They will always go and they buy the Glencores and the Billitons long before they buy copper 360. So if you are keen on a play with the copper, look at a rather bigger group in the beginning, and later on you check your eye on copper 360. If it bounces, it will be severe, but don't rush into it. Let's have a look at the Hang Seng, because Ricky asked about it and she said, Frans, I see that the whole world is just so keen on emerging markets now, and I believe that I must pump some money into the Hang Seng. Now, well, Ricky, you're quite right. You must pump it in, but you're a little bit late, because I can remember last year, I think it was Christelle or me that discussed this share, the index, and we showed you right at the bottom, there was a low, there was a higher low. The index was really depressed, But I must be honest with you, I think this index is slowly, surely showing us that the momentum is building. There's a double bottom, there's a higher low, and we're sitting here with a Lampel formation. So for me, I think it's maybe a little bit too late to buy in. Wait for a pullback. We are above the 50-day moving average. That is positive, but I think after a rally from April from 19,570 to 23,000, that's almost a 25% gain. That's a bit too much for the moment. So yes, Ricky, buy it, but wait for a pullback. Maybe watch the show, ask us again for the request, and then we will cover that. And have a nice day. We'll chat again. Visit our website, www.fransdeklerk.com, and we will chat again.